I think they are nearly efficient. I think it's useful to think of them as efficient. So we should probably remind people.
Take it home with you.
You're taking this buzzer out of my cold, dead hands. So just to remind people what we mean by efficient markets. So efficient markets, basically, there's no systematic advantage to be gained. There's no obvious bargains. So whatever, the markets might go up, they might go down, but they won't do that in a predictable way. There's no kind of obvious thing like, oh, markets always go up on Monday, or markets always go up in December, or like this company is clearly massively undervalued and you could just buy it for a song. Because the market knows all of that, and the market's already dealt with all of that. And so what's left is the surprise. And that's where the idea of the random walk comes from. So it's just like random news moves the markets up and down.
Like
but it could be just all, they don't have to be black swans, just like anything that wasn't predicted. Small stuff, big stuff.
Tariffs.
Yeah.
Bombing Iran.
Anything. Yeah. Could be anything. Yeah. And a lot of it's small stuff, and a lot of it's like industry specific stuff. Because remember, it's not the market, it's 500 companies in the S&P 500, and they've all got their own little stories going on.
No one could have foreseen the Boeing plane, like coming down, and that affects the share price, and then you own the index. You're like, why am I down a fraction of a percent?
Yeah, it's because you got one 500th of Boeing, or one 500th of your money is in Boeing. So that's the idea of the efficient markets hypothesis, and it's not quite right. There are systematic errors that the market makes. There are times where there are measures that fairly reliably suggest the market is overvalued. And in the past, they've always basically said you should probably be buying less, and other measures that suggest the market's undervalued. And there are systematic effects like small companies seem to be better value than big companies. And things like January, I think, does quite well, and August does badly. And sometimes these anomalies are identified and they kind of go away, and sometimes they seem to persist. But the point is, not that markets are absolutely perfect, are absolutely efficient, but they're probably efficient enough that you should act like they're efficient. And what does that mean? Well, first of all, it means buy an index fund, as we've discussed. If you think markets are efficient, buy an index fund. If you think they're massively inefficient, then do your analysis and be clever and pick the right stock. So that's the first thing. Second thing is you get the sort of the no free lunch idea. So, for example, just before the financial crisis, 2007, 2008, you had these financial products that were being sold, not to retail investors, but to professional investors. So like bank to bank or bank to pension fund. So they're basically saying, oh, this product will pay 10%, like a really good rate of return. And it's incredibly safe. We've done all the modeling. It's super safe and it'll pay 10%. Efficient markets hypothesis says no. If it's paying 10%, it's not safe. Yeah. Turns out it wasn't safe.
Yeah.
So I think I'm not saying the markets are always efficient, but I am saying you will tend to make the right kind of decision if you act as though they are.
And you'd have to be working pretty hard to spot the inefficiency, because broadly they're efficient.
Very hard. Very hard.
What I think a good message is to people is, if your mate down the pub is telling you to buy Tesla because electric cars are the future, the market already knows.
What does he know? What does your mate know?
Yeah. Why has he spotted the inefficiency in the market?
Yeah.
Because I think these are the narratives that sucker people in.
Yeah.
They hear AI and they go, oh, AI is the future. The market knows this potentially, or any narrative that you hold off a common person, the market's priced it in and weighed it.
I mean, my little pet theory is that most people don't understand how rich people get rich. Why would they? Most people aren't rich. Most people haven't spent a long time hanging out with rich people, and therefore they assume that rich people get rich because of some kind of like some sort of corruption, some sort of tip they got.
They're smarter inside advice.
Somebody told them something, and then so you've got this view of like that's where real money comes from, is somebody whispers something to you and you take advantage of it, and that's how you get rich. But that is not how most rich people get rich. Rich people get rich through being incredibly good at investment banking, or being incredibly good at programming, or setting up a company, or inheriting a lot of money, or it's not because they got this great tip. Elon Musk did not become the richest man in the world because someone gave him a great tip about some stock. That's not how it works.
No, and most people are just parking money in the market, right? Like the money's already in earned. The people who have loads of money in the market probably put loads of money into the market, or they lived as long as Warren Buffett has and invested since the age of 11.
Yeah.
How many people are fabulously wealthy solely off investing in the stock market.
Yeah.
Like to the point where they're like billionaires.
Yeah.
I think there's probably a handful, right?
Yeah, not many. That's not the normal way. When you got money, as you say, you park it in the market and it snowballs. But that's not normal. That's not how Bill Gates got rich. That's not how Elon Musk got rich. It's not like how Larry Ellison, the head of Oracle, got rich. It's not how the heads of LVMH got rich. I mean, all these billionaires, they were making money in another way. It's Buffett's the one, and there are a couple of others like Jim Simmons, who you mentioned. It's not usually through clever investment savvy.
That was a clip from our full-length conversation with economist Tim Harford. If you want to check out the full thing, you can watch it right here.